Today's episode of Mortgage Zen is brought to you by my coffee mug. So today we're answering this question. What is the single most important question you need to ask and get nailed down before you get a new mortgage, whether you're refinancing or purchasing? All the usual questions kind of made the list of contenders. What's the interest rate? What's the term, which is like the number of payments you're going to make? How much are the closing costs? Is the rate fixed or variable? Is there a prepayment penalty? Is there a balloon? Nope. These are all really good, important questions to ask, but the answers to each of these questions will be completely meaningless unless you first answer this one basic, fundamental, important question. Are you ready? How long will I have this loan? So interest rates and closing costs, like we talked about last week, exist on either end of a teeter-totter. You've got interest rates on one side and closing costs on the other. And if you push one side down, the other side's going to go up, and vice versa. You can totally see this in action. If you do a quick online search for mortgage rates, you're going to find some lenders are going to have very, very low rates, and the knee-jerk reaction is always like, I'm going to totally go with those guys. They got the best rate. Until you dig a little deeper. What you find is that, generally speaking, they're asking you to pay extra discount points, extra closing costs, in order to buy that interest rate down. No one really goes into this. I mean, it's very rarely explained in plain English. So just in case you were not born with an innate sense of how high finance works, this is how you can game the system to get yourself the best deal. How long will I have this loan? If you've had 5 mortgages in the last 10 years, it may be unrealistic to think that this new mortgage will be the one. Do you have a job where relocation may be likely? Are you in a starter home now where you might be looking at another house down the line? Maybe you have a growing family. Those are all really important questions to ask. Or is this the town you're going to live in for the rest of your life? Ask these important questions and try to triangulate as best you can what your number is, how long you're going to have this loan. Now, once you've guesstimated how long you'll have this loan, you can kind of triangulate your best mortgage deal. Here's the basic formula. The shorter period of time you're going to have this loan, if you're going to have it for a very short period of time, the lower you want your closing costs to be. Conversely, if you're going to have it for a very long period of time, you'll want to have the lowest interest rate you can get into, which makes sense, right? I mean, if you have a low interest rate and you've got it for 20 years, you're going to reap the benefits for that mortgage interest rate for the entire length of the loan. If you only have it for a couple of years, you're not really going to give that rate much time to take hold. That's the secret. That's it. It's crazy simple, right? But I see very few people who have actually spent some time answering that question for themselves before they get their mortgage. And I see people every single day who have thrown thousands of dollars out the window because they didn't ask it. There are, of course, some finer points to this, so if you want me to figure out your optimal mortgage setup, give me a call or an email anytime. I'd be happy to take a look at it. Bye for now. This idea can also be flipped on its head. Yeah, pick your nose. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.